Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another Mage Night Highlights. Today we're going to go through the regular units. So I've chosen 5 and I've got one here that is classed as an honorable mention, and that one is the Guardian Golems. So you can recruit obviously the Mage Tower and a Keep. You have 3 armor and physical resistance. It is quite a high cost at 7 influence I think, but you do get quite a bit with that. Obviously the physical resistance is quite good early in the game at assigning damage from maybe a rampaging orc, and these guys will just absorb it. You've got attack or block 2 for free, or you can pay red or blue to increase that to fire or ice block 4. So yeah, like this is a very strong unit. It is quite costly in terms of not only the 7 influence to actually recruit them, but then using up red or blue mana to get the elemental block. But I think yeah, it's oftentimes it's worth it just to pick it up for the attacker block 2 and the physical resistance. So yeah, that is the Guardian Golems. The first one then I chose was the Peasants. So these are quite cheap at only 4 influence. They can be recruited in a village, which you often see early. You'll often want to get to a village to maybe plunder it as well. So you can pick these up before doing that. And yeah, you have 3 armor, and then it gives you quite a lot of flexibility for no cost. So attacker block 2, that's always useful to have. You can use it for influence, again for 2, or move of 2. The move is actually can turn out to be really useful. So yeah, just the flexibility and its low cost is something that I find quite attractive in this unit. So yeah, that's the first one. The second then is the Udom Crossbowman. So village or keep for recruiting. 6 isn't too bad in terms of the influence it will cost. Does have a decent armor value of 4. And yeah, you get attacker block 3 or ranged attack of 2. I really like the ranged attack, especially early in the game. It can be useful. Let's say you're ending a round and you're next to an orc. Maybe you can use that ranged attack of 2 along with, I don't know, maybe a swiftness or something, and just to get a little bit of a bump in your fame and reputation before the end of the round. And yeah, it's having that ranged attack early in the game can be so important. So yeah, that's the reason I've chosen them. Third then is the Scouts. Again, massive flexibility in where you can recruit them. Any site really. They are fairly cheap as well at only 4 influence. Not great in terms of armor, but I think that's kind of made up for by the flexibility, the cheapness, and also the optionality you have. So siege attack 1 by itself isn't great, but combining that with maybe another card, you can combine it with Into the Heat, the advanced action that increases units attack. And then you have a couple of quite flexible movements. So you can take a look at a face down token within 3 spaces on the map, or at the top token of any unused enemy token pile. And if you defeat that token this turn, gain +1 fame. Or move 2, you may reveal a new tile at a distance of 2 spaces instead of 1. To be honest, I find myself using the bottom ability and revealing a new tile at a distance of 2 spaces more than the middle ability. Yeah, I mean, oftentimes I'll find myself 1 tile away from being able to explore, and the Scouts basically allow me to explore the new tile, see what's there, and then assess whether I actually want to head over in that direction, or whether the new tile isn't particularly appealing and I can save the movement points and go off in another direction and do something more productive with my turn. So yeah, the flexibility here with the Scouts make it quite appealing, and yeah, it's fairly cheap as well. So picking this up early, you can get a lot of use out of it throughout the game. And yeah, that's the reason it's in this these 5 units that I've chosen. Number 4 then is the Udom Guardsman. So village or keep, similar to the Udom Crossbowmen. They are cheaper at only 5 influence. They have more armor value at 5. Neither have any resistances. You can get attack 2 or block 4 counts twice against an attack with swiftness. Most of the time I'm valuing the block ability a lot more. Coming up against some early enemies with swiftness can be quite painful in terms of being able to block them. And yeah, having the counts twice against an attack with swiftness is really handy. So yeah, Udom Guardsman, one of my favorites, I think. Just the overall package of flexibility, reasonable cost, decent armor value, and then this block ability. Yeah, I'm always on the lookout for picking those up as early as I can. And then the 5th one is the shock troops. So these can only be recruited in a keep. They are a bit expensive, but what you get is quite powerful. So 6 influence they cost. Not great in terms of armor value, but your flexibility here, you can use them for ranged attack 1, and all other units get +1 to all their attacks this turn. You can use them to reduce the armor and 1 attack of a chosen enemy by 1, or you can use them to reduce 1 enemy attack by 3, and then any damage from that attack must be assigned to this unit first, even if the enemy had assassination. Whenever I use these, I'm usually using it for the 3rd ability of reducing 1 enemy attack by 3. Usually, even if it's an elemental attack, if you reduce it by 3, you have a good shot at trying to block it fully. So being able to reduce it by 3, blocking fully, you don't take any wounds, and then you will have some kind of attack, or you should, going into combat. Yeah, it's a really powerful effect I find, is reducing the attack. And then obviously you have the other 2 abilities as well if the situation calls for it. So yeah, the shock troops, definitely one of the favorite ones for me. I was thinking of including the thugs in this. So I particularly like when your reputation is low, you can recruit them and then use the influence of the thugs to recruit maybe another unit on the same turn. And yeah, you get the benefit of your reputation being in the minus section when you're recruiting the thugs, but then if you recruit another unit, you don't have to take that into account again if you do it in the same turn. So they just missed out. But yeah, these are the 5 I chose. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Always interested to hear people's opinions. Would you have chosen the same or differently? Anything really. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and hope you can join again next time. Thank you.